Joining us right now is Coach Michael Malone. The Michael Malone Show is brought to you by the Central City Casino Parkway. Take I-70 to exit 243. Central City Parkway, your 4 lanes to fun. Coach, way to get it done. Felt like a nice bounce back game after Sunday. How do you like that? I mean, you guys are so successful in these back-to-back games. Do you like being in the same city for back-to-back nights? I mean, it worked out well yesterday, so I'm going to guess it gets a positive review, but it just seems so unusual.
Yeah, it was obviously a great bounce-back win. As you mentioned, we're 12-1 on the second night of back-to-back games this year, which is amazing, 7-0 on the road. And that speaks to the group's resiliency, their mental toughness, their ability to learn from the first game and then bounce back the next night and win at a high level. And as far as being in the same city, that was a weird back-to-back. We played at 12 noon on Sunday, which really felt like 10 a.m. our time because you have the hour time difference and the time change. Got off to a great start, just did not have enough to close that game out. But with no Aaron Gordon to come out and play the way we played yesterday, just so proud of the guys because they just continued to fight. They believed in the game plan. They executed it, and it was a hell of a win for us. But you celebrate for a few minutes, then you realize that we have a 3-game homestand with a very tough division opponent in Minnesota who's won 5 games in a row coming into Ball Arena tomorrow night.
Well, and you stopped Oklahoma City. I think they had 7 in a row also. When you look at your team, and Dmac said this a while ago, he thinks you guys might be the toughest team in the NBA mentally because toughness is not just a guy that can go up and lift a bunch of weights and punch you. Toughness is also being able to come back when your ankle hurts, when your elbow hurts, when you're tired, when things are going wrong at home or whatever it is. Would you put your team up there as one of the toughest teams in the NBA?
I would. Obviously, I know my team a hell of a lot better than all these other teams. But if you can go 12-1 on the second night of a back-to-back, that speaks to both mental and physical toughness. That kind of goes into not believing and listening to all the readily available excuses that are out there. Oh, you're playing at OKC. It's a back-to-back. They're the best team in the West. You don't have Aaron Gordon. Blah blah blah. Guys are beat up. It's late in the season. Well, we never listen to that. We don't subscribe to that line of thinking. We find a way. We prepare to win, and we go into every game with that being our mindset. So yes, I do think we have a very mentally tough, physically tough team, a very resilient team, and that's what I like about our group. And here's a stat that's a good stat and a bad stat, but I think we lead the league this year in a number of games where we've come back from a double-digit deficit. Now, you don't like being down double digits, but the fact that our guys continue to, not just from one game to the next, but also within a game from one quarter to the next, that we find a way to be resilient and we continue to stay the course and believe in each other. And I think that can be really powerful as you approach the final 17 games of a season.
Coach, we were talking about it before the game yesterday, and I probably shouldn't admit this to you, but it did feel like, probably makes sense to rest Jokic. This feels like half the team's banged up, and we don't know how this one's going to go. And I know you talked about this after the game, that you did have a conversation with Jokic about whether he was going to play in the game or not. He said, no, I'm playing. He didn't take he wasn't going to hear anything else. But my question for you, where do you draw the line? As a coach, where do you draw the line? You're like, I know you want to play, but I need you to take the night off.
Well, it's an easy question. You draw the line when our training staff says he can't play, because there's a difference between having a conversation and asking a guy how he's feeling as opposed to the alternative, which is, hey, you're out tonight. This is my call. This is not your call. And if not just for Nikola Jokic, but if that's the case for any player, and we've done this in the past, then we will sit that player out. But that is a conversation between myself, between Steve Short, our director of sports sciences, to make sure we're not putting our players in a position where they can, really hurt themselves and risk being out for a longer period of time. We all realize that Nikola is battling, like a lot of our players, numerous different bumps and bruises and injuries, ankle, elbow, this, that, the other thing. Jamal's been dealing with a lot of things this year, but as Scott mentioned before, alluding to our toughness, I think Nikola and Jamal for 10 years and 9 years respectively have shown time and time again that they are gamers and that they are willing to go out there and play. But if it's ever going to be at the risk of something greater, then we'll have to take that decision out of their hands and do what's best for the team.
It's happened both weekends to you guys and to Oklahoma City over the weekend, and it just hit me. Is it? I'm going to say easier. It's never good when a starter, a great player, leaves the floor and can't play. But is it easier to adjust knowing going in, okay, we don't have Aaron Gordon like on Monday where you lose him in the middle of the game where he's big in the game plan. Last night with Williams, right, he goes down in the game plan and he has to leave the middle. Is it easier to go in a game knowing I don't have as opposed to all of a sudden he's gone and you're like making that adjustment?
Yeah, I mean, neither is ideal because obviously you always want your full complement of players. But I think I knew after the game on Sunday that Aaron was not playing on Monday.
Right.
So that gave us Sunday, all day Sunday, watch the film, think about Monday night, think about matchups, think about rotations, think about what we can do offensively and defensively, knowing that Aaron Gordon was not going to be a part of that game. For them, for Mark, obviously, it was a little bit different because you think you have Jalen Williams. He plays in the first half. The next thing you know, he takes a tough fall, and he's out. So now you're scrambling with a much shorter period of time to make those adjustments. But I would like to believe that all of us head coaches, the more you're around it, you come to expect the worst, and you're ready to adjust on the fly. And you have to because that's the nature of this business. You're not going to always have in football a week to prepare, and in this situation, a day to prepare for the second night of a back-to-back. Sometimes it happens right in front of your eyes during live play, and you got to be ready, willing, and able to make the decisions that you need to when that happens. And but yeah, we caught a break with not having Aaron was always tough, but knowing ahead of time that he was going to be out for that game gave us a little bit of an edge.
Well, and Peyton Watson really stepped up. Now I got to go to the human side of Michael Malone.
Uh-oh.
The guy that fights for the underdog, the guy that knows how to treat the star players, and he's coached the LeBrons and the Currys and the Jokers of the world. There was a moment last night, and Jalen Pickett came in and played significant minutes, and I thought was fantastic. But he makes a move, and I go back and look at times when younger players, and even maybe him last year, when they're always looking for someone else to take care of it. Here, you shoot it, you do that, and they're not aggressive. I think that's the biggest downfall of young players when they fight confidence. He made a move, got to the baseline, faked like he was going out, stepped through, got it up off the glass right before Holmgren came over and scored the basket. And you're in front of me, and I see you with the biggest smile on your face and a fist pump. I mean, you went from just that small moment, coach, to underdog fan of a small player over a 7-1 dude.
Man, when Jalen Pickett, and you're right, by the way, Jalen Pickett's play yesterday, Peyton Watson's play yesterday, our bench, 24 points between them. Peyton had 16, Jalen Pickett had 8. They were all big, big baskets. But Peyton goes 6 of 7 from the field, 4 of 4 from 3, and Jalen Pickett goes 3 of 4 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. And they were so impactful throughout that game. But when Jalen Pickett had that move, Jalen's not the quickest guy in the world, but he plays with great purpose and poise, always under control. And when he had that move, I was just so happy for Jalen Pickett, and I look at the bench and the bench reaction when he had that move. And those are the moments, right? I mean, life is about moments. Those are the moments that, yes, we won the game, but what also not just the final score and the outcome, but the little moments that were part of that. And that move by Jalen, that finish, Peyton Watson knocking down those threes, and you can see the confidence growing. You can see the belief growing. We're on the road against the number one team in the West by far, and here we are without a starting power forward, and we're just coming out here, and every guy that I throw out there is bringing something to the table. And I was so happy for Jalen. He's been fantastic every time his number has been called. And you're right. I did have a big smile because I love to see guys like Jalen Pickett have success because of all the time and energy he's put into this. And now we have to build on it. Once again, you can't be satisfied because we have a division rival coming in tomorrow night, a team that we haven't beaten yet this year, 0-2 against the T-Wolves in Minnesota. And we got to try to find a way to build on our 14-4 record in our last 18 games.
What'd you think of the reindeer games about the sub? Oh, no, he's not a sub, and all that stuff going on.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I was there was a lot of weird stuff going on.
Did you know what was happening at the time? Did you kind of catch on quickly? Like,
I mean, yeah, Mark, I think Mark's a great guy. I have a lot of respect for him. When my father had passed away, he reached out and sent me a very, very thoughtful note. So I have a lot of respect for him, just not only as a coach, but also just as a guy. And when the jump ball goes up, man, that's the thing about coaching. And my father used to say it all the time. Coaches are sick bastards. I mean, we're not normal. We are not normal people. This is not a normal business profession. And then early in that game, Mark was, and I respected. He was fighting for his guys, and I just looked down there and I saw a guy standing there the whole first half. And then finally the referee said, "Listen, man, that guy's got to go." And so yeah, it was kind of a weird situation, but I was more worried about and focused about our guys and trying to help them and give them a game plan and give them some direction to try to take down the Thunder. And to go 2-2 against them this year.
That's great.
We've struggled against some of the elite teams in this league, but to go 2-2 against the best team in the West, hopefully that's something that we can build on as we approach these, the end of the season.
Can you imagine doing a documentary on that kid who's, I think, a two-way player?
Well, it was a great story because he played earlier in the day for their G League team. He was clearly just up there to get some reps or some experience just being with the NBA side.
You got to kind of respect the hustle behind the idea, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, Jokic uses the rules to his advantage, that's not breaking any rules. I mean, they got to close that loophole, obviously. I mean, you can't just be sending guys up that aren't checking in. That's dopey.
Well, I almost went tit for tat. I was going to send somebody up there, too. I go, well, shit, let's have a party, man. I'm going to put a guy up there, too.
Hey, Spencer Jones. Come here, Spencer. Come here.
We'll see what happens, But, yeah, it was again, I'm just really proud of our group. That group, the game at halftime, I said we're doing some good things, but they do have 73 points, man. We have to do a better job of defending. That's way too many points. I thought in the second half, especially that third quarter, and I think the key stretch of the game, end of that third quarter, we closed 8-0. So we go from being down 6 to up 2. And then we started the fourth quarter with no Nicola on the court. We started on a 16-7 run, and next thing you know, we're up by 11 points when I'm putting Nicola back in the game. That end of the third, start of the fourth was by far the most important stretch, and our guys just kind of were able to take it home from there.
All right, Coach. Anything else for Coach? I feel he must be exhausted.
I know you got an easy week this week. 3 and 4, right in front of a 7-day road trip. So I mean, it's a really, really wonderful time of the year.
Well, at least the sun is out. It's a beautiful day.
Absolutely.
We have a tough schedule. We don't shy away from it. We embrace it. We know what's in front of us, and we just got to try to give our guys as much rest as possible. And, go out there tomorrow night and fight like hell in front of the best fans in the NBA to protect our home court.
Hey, did you get your daughter, by the way, on that Mile High Sports magazine cover?
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Did you get her to autograph a copy to you so you could keep?
Yeah, I haven't had an autograph yet. We'll definitely do that. But, yeah, we have a bunch of copies. The people at Mile High Sports were fantastic. They gave us a big poster board of it as well as a bunch of copies. So, once again, really special moment. And
that's cool.
Pretty cool to be a part of that, yeah.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go, and nice job on the W, and we'll see you down at the gym tomorrow.
I am the danger. I'll see you guys.
You are the danger! Yes, Coach, hold on.
I am not in danger. I am the danger. I am the one who knocks.
That's right. I love it, Coach. There you go.
He remembered that.
I am the danger.
I am not in danger. I am the danger. I am the one who knocks.
Oof.
I like that. That's pretty good on the clicking right there.
You like that? I can do it.
not
again.
bad.
I can
That's
do it.
I am not
that's
in
two different
danger.
things.
I am the danger. I am the one who knocks.